Well, all right. Let's get some stuff set up here. If you are hearing this, then clearly you are here before the actual stream starts. You're watching this on YouTube because I haven't actually started the stream on Discord yet. As usual, I got to remind you that if you want to see the streams live, if you want to participate in them at all, then you need to come and jump up the Discord, which there's a link in the description. Go and check that out. And for the moment, I am going to go and I'm going to fire up the voice chat over here, and I'm going to get my screen share started. Now, there we go. I'm in the voice chat, and now I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to come on down here, and we're going to grab the correct projector, which is right here. And what I've been working on over the past week or so is, as you can probably tell, looking at this shit, Har! I've been working on Har. Getting the Har together and whatnot. And I picked up, I gotta go and look this up. I got a big pack of art books on Humble Bundle for a really great price. It was like $25. And I'm going to come up and I'm going to grab that link so I can put it into the description so that you'll be able to go and pick that up. And it's going to have a partner code in it for Game From Scratch because that's where I found out about the bundle. And I think it's only fair. I found out about it from him. I'm going to leave his partner code in there. I'm not going to put in my own partner code and take his money. No, you go ahead and give him the money. It's only going to be good for like the next month and a few days or something like that. So, if you're watching this several months down the road, you're probably out of luck. But if you get there in time, there's a huge, and I mean huge quantity of all of these various anime and manga and cartoon and comic drawing books in there. And I picked up this bundle, and it's got all kinds of stuff in there, and I'm just like, well, it will probably have some stuff about drawing shit I suck at. And in particular, I wanted to look at the hair. And we've got all of this stuff about hair in here, but in the process of looking at all of this and drawing all of this hair, what I realized was it's actually a little bit different than this. So, I just kind of rough in a basic anime face shape here. And this is a very kind of blocky face shape. So here's kind of this anime head shape here. And the thing that I've been noticing is you can divide the hair up into a few basic areas. And you've got the actual silhouette of the hair. And then inside of that silhouette, you have, first of all, you have this outer front area, which typically in a hime cut will come down in front of the ears, or you might see someone with it tucked back behind the ears, like so. And then the ear would be sticking out, and you might have the hair kind of coming down and pulling up and going behind the ear, and you might kind of draw that in the shape of everything in there. Going to have that sort of visible, but either way, you've got kind of this side front area, and then you've got this even more front area here. And then you have a third, like, total front area, and in between kind of the silhouette and the neck, which would be right in here, you've got another bit of hair right here, and this bit of hair is a little bit shaded. And this is a dramatic oversimplification on this, but the thing about this is there's a process to drawing, and that process is you need to know what lines need to be drawn. You need the top of a head, you need the side of the head, you need a jawline, you need a chin, okay? And you can just, like, put that together and you've got the bits of a head. But you also need to know where those lines need to be drawn. It's not enough just to draw them. You have to know what those lines actually go to and where they actually lead to. And the important thing around this is that once you know what lines there are to draw, and you go, okay, I know I need to draw the front part, and then I do the sides, and then I do like farther to the sides, and then I have the silhouette of the hair, and then in between the sides and the neck in here, then I've got some more hair, and this hair is shaded because it's in the back, and it's got a shadow around it. Once you know those pieces, okay, once you know those are the lines that need to be drawn, you can look at that and go, well, this looks like shit. But you have the right lines on the paper. You have something to fix. And having this thing to fix makes a dramatic difference, because now you can go over to the composition layer and you can go, well, this needs to be more of like, I want this kind of pointed look.
So basically, hold on. So layers.
Yeah. You missed kind of the beginning of this, but I've been looking at hair all week. Okay, and I've been looking at like how to draw hair, and I've got screenshots here from like a half dozen different books, and this is just the sections on how to draw hair. There are actually I think there are 4 more pages out of these books that cover hair, but it's like, seriously, I got this buttload of books on drawing manga and anime. I got a link to it in the artwork channel. If you go over there and look, and you scroll back far enough, there's a link to it on Humble Bundle. It's like $25, and I got this big bunch of 37 books. And out of those 37 books, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them are about drawing. 9 of them are. What?
Send me a link to that, please.
Oh yeah, I can definitely send you. It's in the artwork channel. You can just like scroll up. Or actually, I could come into that. Let me just pin the message so it's easy to find.
Yeah, that'll be helpful.
Yeah, okay. So I just pinned it in there so you can jump in and you can find that link really easy. And there's this buttload of books in there, and I went in and I picked all of those up. And what I did was I went through all of these books, and one of them I do want to call out specifically. If you see down here in the corner, well, I'll just go ahead and like draw a circle around it. These two right here, these are from Mark Crilley's Mastering Manga, which I already had. Okay, so those 2 images are not in the books that you get in that bundle. Okay, but within that bundle, the biggest one is like right here. This is I think Manga Drawing Deluxe. This little collection right here was really helpful, and then this, funnily enough, these 2 right here are from a book on drawing chibis. It's Chibi Art Class is the name of that book. But Manga Drawing Deluxe was really good, and then there was what was it? Was it Manga Drawing Deluxe? Was it Manga Drawing Deluxe, or was it Anime Art Class? No, Anime Art Class is the one that has these in it. Okay. And there was actually, funnily enough, there was a single half-page bit that was duplicated. This little bit right here from the Chibi Art Class, that was duplicated in Anime Art Class. So it's like this bit on here is from Anime Art Class, and then this bit is in Anime Art Class, but you've got these 2 whole pages in the Chibi Art Class. But I was going through all of these, and as I was looking at them, you can see here, they kind of get at that with over here on Manga Drawing Deluxe. You can see they cover kind of the areas of hair. But as I was looking at this and looking at this and looking at this, and not just like looking at these particular bits and pieces, but also, let me switch over to scroll. Looking at these... Look at these example hairstyles here, okay? As I was looking at these, I realized that what you actually have when you look at this, okay, you've got a bit in the middle, and you've got these 2 bits on the sides, and then you've got bits that come down outside of that, and then you've got the core silhouette of the hair. So it's just, as I was looking at all of this and looking at how all of that fit together, that's where I kind of came up with the quadrants and everything that are fitting together on this. So it's like, let me just start over, because it's easy to start over. You start out by drawing just kind of a head shape, and it doesn't matter whether your head shape's any good, okay? But you begin with the silhouette of the hair right here. You figure out what you want your hair to look like, and it doesn't have to be like this simple thing. You can do like, this guy's got spiky hair, so here's the silhouette of the hair. But he's also going to have up here, there's going to be a lock of hair in the front. There's going to be a lock of hair to the side of that. There's going to be a lock of hair on the other side of that. And then over here, he's going to have locks of hair that go either in front of his ears or behind his ears. His ears might be behind that if he pushes the hair behind them, but this is like right where the ears are. So you have this in the middle of the forehead, then you have the sides of the forehead, and that's covered on that's covered in this area right here, and they detail how that works. But these 3 right here are just the beginning. Then you've got kind of a 4th and 5th that sit off to the side. Then you've got the silhouette of the hair around it, and down here by the neck, you're going to have kind of this back hair over here. And if you're working from a back view, then you still have that same kind of, you've got the 3 areas. You've got that one down the middle, and you've got the one on either side of it, and then you have the silhouette of the hair when you're looking from the back. But you have kind of a back front and a front, you know, all the way back at the sides. So you've sort of got this 5 areas up front and 5 areas in the back, and those 5 areas in the front and the back, the ones in the back are kind of larger, because what you've got is you got that bit in the front here, and like if we're looking at Megaman has this squared off bit of hair in the front. Okay, let me grab a picture of Megaman so you can actually see this. And it's just, I was going over all of this, and I was just looking at it. Do I have a whole folder of Megaman? Oh, funnily enough, I do. But when you look at I need official art that has her hat off. Because the fan art.
Who doesn't love the explosion lolly? Like, seriously.
Yeah, but it's like, you look at Megaman, okay? And when you look at Megaman, then let me transform this and pull it down a little bit. Okay, hold on. That's no, this is not what I wanted to do. Okay, Control A. Let me copy this and put it over here. Okay, so here's Megaman, and in particular, what I want to look at is this bit right here. And you can see her hair in the front. She's got this squared off bit right here. Holy crap, let me drop my brush size down a little bit. In the front, she's got this squared off bit with a little tail on the side. And then on the side, she's got these straggly bits right here. So this is like your central bit, and then you have a bit on the side, and you have a bit on the other side right here, okay? But then in front of the ear, you've got this lock here. And you've got the same thing on the other side over here. And then you have the silhouette of the hair. When you actually pull back and you look at how Megaman's hair is structured, it's structured in those same kind of 5 areas. So you've got the squared off bit here, and then I'm drawing on the wrong layer. So you've got this squared off bit here, but then on the side you've got like you've got a straggly bit, and over here you've got a straggly bit, and then you've got a long pointed lock and a long pointed lock, and then on the side you've got the silhouette of her hair, and then behind that you've got the rest of her hair that goes behind her head by her neck, okay? So you've kind of got this sort of thing going on here, okay? And this bit back behind is going to be shaded. It's going to be in shadow. It's going to be a little bit darker. And this is like, as I've been going over this and looking at it and looking at it and looking at it, I looked at a lot of different characters. I looked at a lot of different things. And this is the formula that they use on just about every anime character, is just to do this kind of 5 bits in the front. And then when you look at somebody from the back, they got 5 bits in the back. You know, and that sometimes the middle bit and the back will be completely left off if they're dividing it off into 2. Like if you've got somebody that's a twin tail, okay? If you've got somebody that's a low twin tail and they've got the hair pulled down and gathered right here, and you've got sort of that double ponytail streaming down the back.
I posted something with the game I'm playing in chat. Let's copy this.
Yeah, let me go take a look at it real quick.
Yeah, hold on. Like this one. I posted it earlier, but this is a good example.
Yeah, that's an excellent example of it. You can't really see the division between the 3 bits in front, okay? But that particular look, you've still got the bit up in front and the bits to the side. It's just that because they're all similar, you can't really see the division among them. But you can definitely see that you've got those locks to the side in front of the ears. And you can definitely see you've got the outer silhouette, and then you've got the bit in shadow behind the head and the neck. It's the same thing with the second picture that you posted right there. And you can really see, like on that girl in the front, you can see the divisions between those 3 bits of hair in the front, those 3 divisions of the bangs, and then the locks on the sides, even though they're all roughly the same length. The bits on the sides tend to come down a little farther. And it's the same thing as you go picture to picture, as you go character to character. This just seems to be the formula that gets used over and over and over again on anime characters. Like switching over to the blue layer now, you have that bit, and then you've got the bit to the side, and then you have another bit, and this bit tends to be longer. And then you have the silhouette, and the silhouette is going to come down typically farther than that bit. But this then kind of segues into that next part.
Even in real life, Japanese do like this haircut. I can tell you that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Especially women. Especially the women.
Well, they're very dead. Well, that whole thing with like the hair coming down on the sides, that's not just Japanese women. That's women all over the world. It's women of all sorts. If I go to, I've still got the folder full of model references that I got. And I'll bet if I go into those, if I go into poses and I grab some of those, we'll be able to see that just in like people. So it's like if I grab this one right here and we scroll in, well, this is an Asian woman, so that doesn't prove anything. If I grab this one right here, though, you can see that when we scroll in on this one, okay, it's like when we move in on this one, you can see that here is that front bit, and then you've got a bit to the side. You've got another bit to the side here, dude. And you've still got, yeah, I should definitely use like a different color. But you can see it's that same structure right there, and then you've got the full silhouette of the head over here, and then back here you've got that hair in the background that's in shadow, and it's like that. And this is, I mean, Asian women and non-Asian women, they have the same general kind of hair, with the primary exception that Asian hair is rounder. That's something a lot of people don't realize is Asian hair has a very round profile, and that's why, like, when they cut their hair short, it'll stick straight up a lot longer than like other people, because typically Caucasians have kind of an elliptical egg shape to their hair, and then you get a lot of gingers and a lot of Jewish people and black people in particular have much thinner hair that curls in on itself. Okay, and because it curls in on itself, you get those very tight kind of curls and ringlets and that sort of thing. Now, if you're just like a regular old white person, then you can curl this hair. That's totally a thing that you can do. But the more round your hair is, the less capable it is of holding a curl or a wave that you put into it. So Asian women frequently have to keep their hair more or less straight. And they can style it a little bit and they can train it a little bit here and there, but they can't do a lot of the really wild and extreme things that that non-Asian women can do with their hair, because it's just the wrong shape to do that. And that's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just, you know, a thing.
How it is. It's just how it is.
Yeah, it's exactly how it is.
Like,
a lot of people lose their fucking mind over that. How dare you say there are differences between the races? There are. There are regional differences in humans. We really need to be able. I think there is.
You need to be.
I think there is actually a drive to stop referring to it as race and begin referring to it as ethnicity, which is more accurate, because we are one race, we're one species, you know. But
yes, no. People lose their minds. I had an argument with my friends. Like he was like, are you always supremacist? I'm like, no. I'm noticing the regional differences between each ethnicities of the human race. There's nothing about skin. Yes, skin has to do with sun, but when you have a group of humans, they're isolated from each other for thousands of years. They're gonna
they develop culture. It is tremendously difficult to separate out people that are different because of where and how they were raised, and people who are different because of their genetics and their natural tendencies. And that's really, really difficult to draw a line, because we don't know. And it's hideously unethical to perform experiments on this, which means the only people that ever had any meaningful data on this, well, the Japanese and the Chinese have got some fucking nasty experiments that they've done over the years, and they have some data on this. But in the Western world, the only people that have ever done truly shocking experiments on what's possible with human beings are the Nazis. And it's generally considered unethical to use Nazi research as the foundation for anything. So we got all of this research that is just sitting there, and there's this ongoing debate in the medical.
And I'm just like, it's research. Like, science is a double-edged sword. Just because it's unethical,
it is, but
mean you can't use the data.
Oh my God! Well, it actually does. That's kind of an agreement among the world scientific community that if somebody does research and their research is unethical, you can't use their data, because if you did, that would encourage people to do more unethical research. And
True.
That's kind of the agreement that they've come to. But if the research has already been done, it's just one of the things that the Nazis did. And this is, I want to make this absolutely clear. This is awful. Nobody should ever have done this, but they did. One of the things that they did was they took people and they put them in tanks of water, and they just left them there to see how long can a human being stay alive isolated in the water. You've got no food, you've got no drinkable water because they're using ocean water, which will kill you if you drink too much of it. And they're giving them no shelter, no food. They have to tread water the whole time. If they fall asleep, they will die. How long can a person survive like this? They did tests in multiple different kinds of water. They did tests in heavy salt water, light salt water, and fresh water. They did tests in hot water. They did tests in Arctic sea conditions where it's like freezing cold water. And they did a whole bunch of tests where they're just like, how long can a human being survive in an oven? Like, if we just take a human being and we put them in a big metal box and we just raise the temperature, how high does the temperature get before they die? These are awful experiments. They're absolutely horrible experiments. But if we don't use that data, if we don't use that research, then those people died for nothing. So I see both sides of this. It is very much a double-edged sword. So we've got a whole bunch of just like thoroughly unethical experiments that have been done, and we could use the data. And there are people that are trying to figure out, okay, what do we need for a habitation unit on Mars? Well, the ability of human beings to survive in various conditions of exposure is important to that. And the Nazis generated that data. But we can't ethically use it.
It's a weird thing. It's really weird.
It is weird. And really, when you come down to it, it's like,
it's there.
I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. I think we can probably figure out the same shit with computer simulations.
Yeah, true. Because
so
we don't need to use test subjects.
I'm not too stressed about it, but it's just like that is something where I sit there and I go, we have this treasure trove of scientific data. We've also got a lot of bullshit, because another thing about the Nazis, Nazi scientists and doctors and researchers were expected to produce a massive quantity of results. Like Hitler would throw fits, and then the SS would throw fits, and heads would roll, and people would get in trouble. So a substantial quantity of Nazi research data is just made the fuck up. So
basically you have to filter it.
Yeah, you do have to filter it, and you can kind of see it as the thing. If you, I've heard, I haven't actually seen any of this data, but I've heard from people that have seen it. They're like, you can see that, like, they're getting these results for a while, and then you have a report to the Gestapo, and then 2 weeks after that report to the Gestapo, suddenly the reports dramatically improve. And they're getting much different results. And when you see that, now you know they're fudging the data. It's like up until that report and a little bit afterward, these results are probably accurate. The rest of it, that's bullshit. They just made it up because, when you're working under an authoritarian militarist regime, it's like the people in North Korea, the people in Kim Jong-un's Korea are...
You get your head cut off.
They're laboring under conditions that most of us do not understand and could never really understand. And it's like one of the things that just kind of cracks me up. I sit there and I facepalm about this so much. When North Korea does rocket tests and you look at like where the rockets are landing, I just sit there and I go, because I've written targeting systems for missiles, and I know exactly what's going on. They're trying to be threatening and scary, and they're trying to go, ooh, we shot a rocket right near your borders. But somebody somewhere along the line has forbidden the North Korean military to account for the rotation and curvature of the Earth. Somebody has told somebody, it may have been Kim Il-sung, it may have been Kim Jong-il, it may even be Kim Jong-un. I don't think it's Kim Jong-un. He strikes me as a relatively rational human being. But somebody threw a fit that their calculations account for the curvature of the Earth and said, you don't have to do that, the Earth is flat. And the supreme leader in Korea is basically God. If God tells you the Earth is flat, you have to behave as though the Earth is flat, or you will be fucking executed. And that's why
that's why
that's why none of their rockets work worth a shit. And it's just, I just sit there and shake my head and I just go, God, and you can't gainsay it. Kim Jong-un cannot go in there and say, no, my father or grandfather was completely full of shit. Put those calculations back. He can't. That's culturally forbidden. He can't do it. And these conditions are just so fucked up. They're so absolutely, completely fucked up. And I feel bad for Kim Jong-un, to be perfectly honest. Sometimes I look at the pictures of him And like, particularly in the early stages of his reign, he just looks terrified. It's just like he's sitting there. You can almost see on his face, he's looking around going, these people are all crazy.
Yeah.
And
anyways, let's get back to Herod, everybody.
He's adjusted to it, but you can kind of see it in those pictures. You see him like looking over like, oh, what? What did you just say? God, I have no idea how that country can ever like rejoin the modern world, but you know, I wish they would figure something out. I really do, because you know what drives me nuts is family is everything in Korea, and the Korean War was not that long ago. It really wasn't. So there are families in North Korea that have grandchildren in the South that they've never seen. And that just breaks my heart. And I'm like, we're running out of time to where these families could be put back together and potentially reassimilate. And we're getting close to a time that, you know, entire generations will be born and die and never get to see the rest of their family. And family's so important in Korea. It's so terribly, terribly important. And that breaks me up. Just thinking about all of those families, because there's such a tiny group of families in Korea is the thing. What the hell is going on here? Oh, do I still have this on? I do. Okay, but anyway, we'll switch back to sketch. So there is, of course, I've talked about this a little bit, which is the minimal shoulders. It's just kind of like a pair of triangles. Okay, I've been thinking a lot about this too. I actually have a recent. Where was the? I gotta go to open, and I think it was down here. The hell, where is it? I don't know where I saved it. I did a sketch earlier today. Did I save it in Anime Hair by mistake? I did not. I don't know what happened. Huh. But yeah, I was looking at how the formation of everything under the chin goes, and the thing is that, like, inside of the mouth, you've got the tongue, okay? And the tongue sits on the floor of the mouth, and the floor of the mouth goes into the throat, okay? Right here. And then here at the back of the jaw, right at the back here, you've got attached to the bone, you've got the sternocleidomastoideus muscle, okay? And that comes down here on both sides, and you get kind of this V that's going on, okay? And that comes down more or less straight here on the sides, because the sternocleidomastoideus actually divides in two, and you've got a tendon here and a tendon here, and those connect to the clavicles. So you've got that tendon that connects to the middle, and you've got a tendon that connects to the end right here, okay? And then back behind that, behind all of this, you've got the spinal column is back behind there. And the spinal column is where you have the trapezius muscles connect. They're connected right in here, and they come out along the side there. And then over here, you get your shoulder. Okay, but you have that minimal construction. And when you look at it from the front, you've got the chin, you've got the throat, and you've got these muscles that kind of V in front of it. And between these muscles and the chin when it's lowered, that protects the throat. When you look at it from the side, you've got, here's your skull right here, okay? And you've got, in the back of the skull, you've got your spinal column. And your spinal column kind of goes like so. And then in the front here, here's your mouth. And running through here, that is the throat. And the throat is right in front of that spinal column. And coming off of here, you've got your sternocleidomastoideus muscle. And coming off of here, you've got your trapezius. Okay? And that's all protected right here because this little vulnerable spot right in that space has a muscle wrapping around on each side, and it has the chin and the bone of the jaw protecting it from the front. Okay? And that's kind of this nice little protected area. But most importantly, when the chin turns, okay, if you turn your head, like here's your neck, and you decide you're going to turn your head over this way, okay? You turn your head to point in this direction. Over here, your throat is still attached to the middle of the jaw. So your neck is going to turn like this, which means this part of that muscle is now coming down. This part doesn't move. That part right there between the clavicles, that doesn't move when you turn your head. But you can see that the throat does. You can see that underneath of the chin. So you've always got, when you turn your head, you've always got that straight line leading back to the middle. So you're always leading back there no matter what you do, okay? And those two.
So I remember being all my name like moderator of ludes. I've seen enough ludes to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know, and it's one of those things where it just, as you turn your head, the throat goes with it. Okay, the top of the throat moves with the chin, but the bottom of the throat stays exactly where it is. So you always kind of have that going on, and because the muscles on the sides are always coming in. When you turn to the side, okay, when you turn your head to the side, then this muscle is going to be more relaxed, and this muscle is going to be a little bit sharper inward, like that. But your throat's still going to come in like this. And it's, if you turn in the opposite direction, you have the exact opposite situation, where the throat still comes down to the middle, and then you've got this muscle over here. Okay, as you turn your head, the muscle's connected here, it's going to come down pretty much straight. Over here, the muscle's connected to the jaw again, it's circling around. So you get kind of, when you think of that as a pair of cables that are attached to the outside of the jaw, okay? Here's your chin, here's your jaw, and you've got these cables that come down from that. And they just sort of swoop down. And when you turn the head, you got to think about where the other side of the jaw is. So you've got one cable that's coming around here, and you've got one cable that's coming around here, and then the throat is in the middle, right there. And I'm doing a bad job explaining this, but you know.
Yeah, I was about to say, can you do different colors, please?
But it's like you've got that throat there, and let's come down here and we'll do blue, okay. And then you've got over here is the muscle that's connected to the bone there, and that comes down the side, and you get this sweep in to the center. So then as you turn there's
two muscles right here in the front of the neck, right? That's what you're saying?
Right. And then as you turn your head to the side like this, you've still got the exact same situation, but your throat is still coming down to the middle. It's still coming down between the clavicles. And
why don't you get some like actual anatomical I can't pronounce models to give us some more
I can do that. Hold on a minute. Do I have something for the throat?
Yeah.
I do not have anything directly for the throat here, I don't think. Riley head, scapula, skull. I think we have coverage of that in Hogarth's Dynamic Anatomy. Oh yeah, masses of the head. That should give us a clear picture here. I'm gonna have to grab an image here, but should make it reasonably clear. Okay. So, let me come over here, and the first thing that I need to do is pull this thing off of my phone, because my phone will not let me actually post things directly to anywhere. I can't just drag stuff off of my phone to like where I want to have it. I have to copy it into my pictures folder, and then I can.
Oh my gosh, that's so many extra steps.
It is, but yeah, it's not that bad really. Okay, so let's bring this in here. Okay, so what you can see in this is you could see that right here under the chin, all right. Right here under the chin, you could see that this comes down into the throat. That's connected. That's all one piece right there. And right here, coming off of the side of the jaw, you can see the edge of the sternocleidomastoideus muscle right here.
Oh, triangles, right?
Right, exactly. So what you're looking at there is you have this muscle that wraps around, and you have the other muscle that wraps around from the other side. But the throat is anchored. The throat doesn't go anywhere. It's connected right here. The inside of your mouth is connected to your throat. It's part of your throat. That's all one tube that goes down there, that goes down right in front of the spine. If you look at right here, if you look at the back of the head, that's going to come down into the spine. So you've got kind of the spine, and the spine is behind the throat, and then the skull is sitting on top of that. So you end up with kind of this thing going on. And right here's your chin, and all of that is connected down to the throat. So all of that is connected, and all of that is one basic area. So let me.
Basically, just it's a mechanical motion that you have to understand. Is that
right?
What you're saying?
It's just knowing what the parts are and where the parts fit, and that comes down
and how they move and how they move. So
right,
when you draw those parts.
Right. There are hard parts, and there are soft parts, and we've got here the clavicles. The clavicles don't move. You have the what they call cartilaginous joints at these places, which is where the bone will move, but you can't move it on purpose. You can't flex your clavicles. They move, but you can't make them move, you know? It's not like your elbow, which you can bend your elbow. You can't bend your collarbone. You can't flex your collarbone. That's not a thing you can do. But you've got over here, you've got this hard bit right here. And we've talked about that in terms of you got your shoulder blades in the back, and your shoulder blades connect up to the clavicles in the front. And that makes kind of this harness that goes around. There's your breastbone in the front. And then right here, tunneling down into the middle of the body, that's the neck right there. And in the back, you've got your spine. And up here in the front, that's your throat right there. That's your throat that sits underneath of your head. So it's sitting a little bit farther back, and then you've got all of the bone and muscle and all of that stuff sitting on top of it. And you got your lungs in here, which you never need to draw the lungs, but knowing where they are is kind of a nice thing. That's a fucking weird thing to say. I don't know what the hell I'm doing over here. What's wrong with me? Where do we even begin answering that question? That's a huge question. But yeah, I was thinking about how the the neck and the throat and all of that work, because if you're working on hair, you're working on heads. And you've got kind of, here's your head and here are your ears. And again, it's just, you've got a central area of hair here, and that may be squared off, or it may be angled to one side, it may be angled to the other side, it may be angled on both sides. But this is these are your major shapes of anime hair. It's sloped on one side, it's sloped on the other side, it's sloped on both sides, or it's not sloped on either side, it's just squared off. And for female hair in particular, that's just that's how it works. You have this area, even when you look at Megaman's hair here, okay? You've still got that, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. Dry this down. And we'll, okay. So you see right here, okay? I'm on the wrong layer again. You see right here, we've got this little bit. That's just angled on both sides. You got this bit right here, again, angled on both sides. But what you actually have right here is you have a squared off bit of hair that is detailed by angling it off on both sides. And you get the same thing here, squared off bit of hair. Here again, squared off bit of hair, but you detail it by kind of fringing it and putting in the angle on both sides. It's just, if you just duplicate that, and then you've got, here's that little lock of hair there, and you just have that that 5-step process over and over again, where everything is pretty much the same shapes. And it's, don't I have a, there we go. Don't I have a zoom back out function? Yes, I do. I do have a zoom back out function. So, so you're doing the hair. Whoa. See, I keep forgetting what tool I'm using. Actually, I never use this, but I have rotate mapped in here, so I can get so I can do lines in the right direction. If I have trouble drawing in a particular direction, it's very natural for me to do lines this way. It's less natural for me to do them this way. So because of that, I can just turn this. If I turn it, I can do lines in the direction that actually works best for me. But I never use that. I probably should, but I never do. But it's like, if you start with just your basic kind of anime head shape, which can have a rounded chin or a squared chin or a pointed chin or however you do it, you can divide that into these 5 bits in the front, and then you've got 4 bits in the back. You've got the silhouette of the hair that goes all the way around the outside, and then you've got this hair back here, which is in the back. Because if you think about this, if you think about how this is laid out, you've got a bunch of hair up here, then you've got the hair around the side, you've got the hair of the silhouette, and now you can see this part is going back behind the head. And you want to darken it because it's farther back. And it's the same thing over here. You have the silhouette right there, and then it goes farther back. And this part gets shaded in. And this part might be shaded in, or it might not, depending on how you want to do it. But you've got kind of this circle around look to it, where you've got the face sticking out the front, and then you've got the hair, and you have the hair sweeping around, and you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you got that outer area, and then you've got these areas that you can see. And when you're looking from the back, there's an additional area. There's a 10th area. So you kind of have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the back, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the front. Which you could also kind of think of like, you can kind of think of it the way you think of teeth. It's like you look at the teeth. You have the same number of teeth on the top and the bottom, but your bottom teeth are smaller. Your top teeth are a little bit larger, so you've got 4 teeth across, where you have 6 teeth across on the bottom. Okay? And on top of that, that's where your canines are. 4 teeth out on the top, 6 teeth out on the bottom. That's important for people like Bum Number One, who is always doing Vampire the Masquerade stuff, which is immensely cool, by the way. I'm a big fan of Mark Reinhagen's work, the entire White Wolf RPG series going all the way back to Ars Magica. I think that's tremendously cool, and it's just really awesome that people are still playing this game. And I was there when it first started. I was part of the original live-action playtests, and it was awesome. But it's the same kind of thing with hair. You've got kind of the back area is larger than the front area. The front area still divides up into 5 sections, but those sections are necessarily smaller. Although the ones out on the side, because you're looking at them at an angle, they seem like they're smaller. They seem like you've just got a little bit there and you've got much larger locks coming across in the front. They seem smaller and thinner, but they're actually not. And then the ones in the back sitting there, and you've got your face sitting in the middle of that and your neck sitting under that. And I don't have a whole lot of like real specifics there, but just working in those 5 areas and going, yeah, there's a fringe right here, and then there's just this block, and or there's a fringe over here. And if we let's grab a different character real quick. Let me, well, that's entirely the wrong. Here, let's grab Gura. I'm not good at pasting for some reason. Let's bring that down, then we'll Control T, and we'll drag this out, and we'll get some height on this. And you can see here, let's drag this down. Yes, apply the transformation. Let's drag this down underneath of everything. I made another copy of the Mega Man reference. That's not something that I need. No, just take it to the trash can, right over there. Okay. So you can see right here on Gura, you've got, we'll use the blue layer. But right here, you can see that we've got that squared off bit there, and we've got another squared off bit here that's just kind of separated off with a little fringe. And then here, we've got the little hime locks that come down along the side. And then that's where you would get your silhouette, but we don't see the silhouette because we've got this big hood on, okay? But you still got that same 5 areas. And those 5 areas are still basically divided up, angled on one side, angled on the other side, angled on both sides. And if we go back to, the, let me pull something up here. We're looking at stuff from Princess Project. And we look over here, and we've got right here, if I come up to this layer, I'll lower my brush size, you can see that we've got a lock in the front, a lock to the side. You've got the hime lock here, lock to the side, hime lock here. There's the silhouette, but the head's turned this direction, so you can see more of that there. And then you can just see peeking out from under there, you can see that hair from the back. Same thing here, you've got that pointed in the front, and then these are squared off, but fringed, you see? And then you've got the 5th one there, you got that kind of hime lock, but she's short-haired. So then you have the silhouette of everything, and you've got the hair back here in the back, which is shaded. And it's the same thing on all of them. You can see it again right here. You can see that there's the front, and there's the lock to the side, lock to the side. There's the Hime lock on this side, Hime lock on that side, silhouette of the head, and just in there you can see that poking out, that little bit that's in shadow. And
is that Princess Project?
Yes, that's all from the Princess Project H game, which is from Kagura Games. It's also from Triangle Development Group. I'm tremendously impressed.
Bro, I want to let you know that you're cutting off audio every now and then. Just letting you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. If my audio is cutting off, is it because of something going on in is it because of something going on in Discord, or is it because of something going on in my microphone?
It's Discord a little bit. It's not you. I can pick up what you're saying because I'm a lip reader. I'm a lip reader too. I'm a very good lip reader.
Well, of course you are. You have to be. But okay, yeah, everything looks fine on my levels out here. I'm not getting any dropouts. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, that seems fine. Got a little feedback there, but I'm not getting any dropouts when I got some dirty pot controls on my mixer that I really need to take apart and clean and everything, but I don't want to. It's a lot of work. I don't like disassembling electronics. It's not fun. As long as I can get by without doing it, then I'll try to do it.
Yeah, you're cutting out again, so it's probably on Discord's level.
It's almost certainly on Discord's level. But, hey, I will be uploading the video, so, you'll be able to see that.
Whatever.
As if you're going to go watch that. That's not going to happen. But
watch this whole thing again, but I'm in it. Like, seriously?
You don't have to watch the whole thing. You just have to scroll to the part like, this is the part that I missed, and see what was going on there. But
you know what? Screw you, dude. Screw you.
I understand. I know where you're coming from. Let's get Morgan from Tears to Tiara. And here you got, once again, there's the hair in the middle, hair on the sides. And you can see here that the hair on the sides tucks under the Hime lock. It gets pulled off to the side and tucked underneath of there. And then you've got the silhouette of the hair, and you've got that little bit of hair there poking out. And she's incredibly cute. I mean, look at her. Isn't she cute? She's so cute. I should save this as something. Hello? I don't know why that wasn't wanting to save, but yeah, that's pictures. This goes in anatomy. Oh shit! I can't open the anatomy folder. It's got stuff in it. Well, here we go. I'll fix it this way. Yeah, there's unfortunately a picture in my anatomy folder which I cannot show on YouTube. If it pops up on YouTube, I will be in trouble.
Well, you can post it in the Discord, so I know what it looks like.
I don't know if you necessarily want to see it. But yeah, it's a picture of Bailey J, which I will come down and post into NSFW 3D. So you can see, yeah, YouTube would get mad about that. That's not something that that's not something I can put on YouTube. So
okay,
yeah,
okay,
I'm not
okay. Gotcha.
And Bailey J is like one of my favorite examples of Bailey J is one of my favorite examples of a trans woman that most guys look at and go, "Oh hell yeah, that's fantastic," and then they realize, "Oh wait a minute, not only is that a trans woman, she's got stuff." That's more stuff than most guys have. I don't have that much stuff. So that is a jealousy-inducing trans woman right there. She upsets a lot of guys, and I think that's hilarious, which is why I keep the picture around. I have several pictures of Bailey J that I just like, every once in a while, I just like pull them out on people. It's a trolly thing to do, I know, but it is worth noting, I'm not talking about Bailey J ending with an E. There's a YouTuber named Bailey J who is an art YouTuber, but it's BAILEEJJAE.
Oh my gosh.
And she's just an art YouTuber. She's like, to my knowledge, she's not trans, but I wonder if anybody's ever told her she shares a name with a porn star. It seems like that's something you would want to know if you're a public figure. I don't know that was necessarily the best idea of a name to put on your YouTube channel, but
maybe it was intentional.
Well, maybe it was. Who knows? Maybe lots of people are searching for this Bailey J person. I'll name myself Bailey J with a slightly different spelling. Oh wait, that's why they're searching for that person. Or maybe she never found out. You never can tell. But yeah, this 5-quadrant thing that I've been working on. This is and this is kind of a thing that I've been talking about here and there, and I don't go into as much detail on it as I really should, but everything is about knowing what lines you need to draw. You need to draw the neck, and you need to draw, there's a back behind the neck, okay? And that you've got collarbones in front of the neck, but you need to know where exactly those lines need to be drawn, and how they need to be drawn before you can draw something that actually reasonably approximates the look of neck and shoulders, And this is kind of a minimalist view of that. That works, okay? And it's just a few lines. And that's the hard thing, is to kind of underscore, to figure out kind of the minimum number of lines that you need to get the point across. That is one of the primary elements of anime that is hard to work out, is how do you get this across in as few lines as possible. You don't want to be sitting there and kind of drawing in every last little thing. You want to get this done fast. And the reason you want to get this done fast is because you have to draw 400 of this fucking thing in an hour, because that's your job working in a sweatshop in Korea. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed when you watch the credits at the end of anime?
I do. I've seen videos of them making anime.
All of the important names in the anime are in kanji, and then you get down to like the animators. You get these long lists of hangul, because the Japanese come up with the ideas and the designs and the storylines, and then they throw it all across the sea to Korea to have the actual work done.
Called outsourcing.
Yeah, and Korean animators they're amazing. They do such fast work and such good work, but holy crap, are they overworked and underpaid. And one of the reasons that Japan outsources to Korea is because Korea is a very kind of cutthroat, mercenary sort of culture, where they're ruthlessly capitalist, and they understand that, if you go out and you say, I will do this job for you, and you get offered a certain amount of money, if you take it and it turns out not to be enough, that's on you. If you agreed to do work for dirt 50 an hour, well, fuck off out of here with your complaints. You agreed to do it. And that's, I really I like that element of the culture. And I wish we had more of that here in the United States, because people are talking about raise the minimum wage. And it's so hard to explain to them, raising the minimum wage is not going to fix what you're trying to fix. You're going to fix the surface level problem, but the symptom of the actual disease, what's actually going on here is we don't have enough stuff for all these people. Okay? The reason that the poor can't afford to eat steak is because there's not enough steak. It's not because they don't have enough money to buy steak. If you gave them more money to buy steak, the price of steak would go up. The price of steak will go up until we're selling exactly as much steak as we have. So
basically we need more stuff.
Right. We're not raising productivity. Okay? I mean, we're kind of raising productivity. We've raised productivity dramatically in terms of producing work that generates money. But we haven't raised the productivity of farms. We haven't raised the productivity of ranches, the productivity of factories, the productivity of mines, the productivity of oil wells, all of the natural resources. We're not pulling more food out of the land to feed these people. So if we're not pulling more food out of the land, it doesn't matter that Hollywood is making billions more dollars throwing movies over to China. We're getting much, much better at manufacturing money. We are not getting any better at manufacturing food. So the food insecurity in America is not because minimum wage is too low. It's not because federal assistance is too low. It's because there's not enough good, nutritious food. And we're working on that, but the way we're working on that is we're producing more good, nutritious food, which we now find is a luxury, and it should be priced into the fucking stratosphere so only the rich can afford it. You know, it has to be, or you'll run out. You can't give organic bananas to the poor. They got to have the factory farm GMO shit, because you can crank that out by the truckload, but organic bananas, they're a pain in the arse. And that's kind of the way things are running in the industry. People complain about underpaid people in the anime industry. Animation got farmed out from Japan because they have strong socialist policies, because it's too expensive to have the small army of people doing this work. It costs so much money to do that anime just aren't cost effective. But farming it out to Korea and farming it out to China, those make it actually doable. They prefer to farm it out to Korea, which I find ironic, because on the one hand, Korea and Japan are not exactly friends because of the Japanese invasion and the various wartime issues that they had with one another. So the idea that they're doing so much business together is on the one hand, it's cool because that's kind of sort of relations, but on the other, Japan is so ruthlessly exploiting Korean labor that it's kind of like they're still shitting on Korea, you know? And the perspective on that is different depending on which Koreans you talk to. It's like you talk to a Korean American who doesn't give a shit, and then on the other hand, you'll talk to a Korean American who's pissed at Japan for doing this to Korean workers, and then you have another Korean American who's just like, oh, I'm so glad that Koreans can work for Japan and that we're getting along again. The opinions are all over the place, and none of them are wrong. It's complicated. And I wish things were less complicated a lot of the time. But they're not less complicated.
But face culture gets in the way.
Yep.
Face.
Cultural clash is always an issue. That's one of the major reasons that we have issues. One of the things I haven't gotten around to doing the copyright video yet, but I have scripting for it. And one of the things that I realized, like most of the way through it, was I was like, these butthurt modders that are complaining, they're basically SJWs. They're asking game developers and game publishers for something that they think is perfectly reasonable. and it is perfectly reasonable. There's nothing wrong with them asking for it, but they need to ask for it. They're not going to get permission to make mods unless they ask. And if they don't have permission, then the developer can tell them, hey, cut that shit out. And legally, they have to. It's reasonable for them to ask, but at the same time, the person they're asking has every right to say, no, fuck off, we don't have to and we're not gonna. And this is exactly the same thing as trans people saying, could you please use my name and my pronouns? It's a perfectly reasonable thing to ask, and you have to ask, but people can just go, nah, fuck off, I don't have to and I don't want to, so I'm not gonna. And getting butthurt about it, that's the whole problem with SJWs. It's a reasonable request, but it's also a perfectly reasonable refusal. They're asking somebody to do something, and the person's saying no, and these modders are getting all butthurt over it and throwing their little fit and go.
People forgot how to accept a no.
Yeah, and saying no is just, that's the most basic. If you don't have the freedom to say no when you're asked to do something, that is the most basic thing you need to interact in society. If you can't say no to something, then you basically lose all of your rights. And that's just so basic and so fundamental. And so many people have such a huge problem with it. And they don't have a problem themselves saying no. They just have problems with the idea that other people can say no to me. What do you mean I need consent to fuck that girl?
Say no.
How dare you? And you see it all the time. It's like guys will walk up to a girl, they're like, hey, babe, you're real hot. And they're like, yeah, I don't think so. The guys will go, fuck you, you're a bitch, I didn't like you anyway. God, learn to take a no, It's learn to deal with that. What the hell is wrong with you with that shit? And guys don't seem to understand. God, this just blows my mind. A man will walk up to a woman and he'll use a cheesy, shitty pickup line that's just flat out offensive. And she'll go, oh, God, no. And then he'll say some nasty shit to her. And he doesn't seem to realize every woman within 12 feet just heard him say this nasty shit. You're not getting anywhere with anybody in this place, dude. Nobody is interested in you now. You can just fuck off out of the bar. You're done for the night. You can't do anything here. And they don't seem to get that. And they go around and they try talking to all of these different women and they get rejected every single time. And they're like, all the women in this bar are bitches. No, you're just a fucking idiot, dude. Don't shit on the people who have what you need in front of them. That's just not, don't do that. What's wrong with you? If you need to ask permission for something, don't let the person whose permission you need see you calling him a fag. That's not going to get you what you need. And people don't seem to understand. I got this big collection of like a dozen different comments of what greedy fuckheads Rockstar are. And I'm like, yeah, why? Why would Rockstar be unwilling to give you guys permission to make mods? Look at the shit you say about them all the fucking time. Look at the game you made out of driving the dislikes on their GTA 5 for the Switch trailer. You drove them up over 300,000. You got them 300,000 dislikes on a video. Why? Because we want GTA 6. Dude, I fucking guarantee you they're working on GTA 6. I absolutely guarantee you. They're making over $100 million a year off of GTA 5 already. They know good and goddamn well if they put out GTA 6, they're going to make a few billion with a B. They know this. They're not fucking stupid, okay?
$1 billion game? What the frick?
GTA 6 is going to sell so fucking... There are 140 million GTA 5 players. Just think about that.
60 times $60?
That's that is $8.4 billion with a B. That's
No,
if they're all at full.
taxes.
That's if they're all at full price, though, which they are not. Roughly 12 million, or 10% of that was through the Epic Games giveaway. There is also the issue that there exists a website on the internet that will just hand you Steam keys for GTA 5 all day long. And who knows how many of the actual, who knows how many of these 140 million accounts on Rockstar Social Club have actually paid full price for the game. Who knows how many bought it on sale? I mean, I bought it for $8, for God's sake. You know, so we don't really know how much money they've actually made. We do know how much money Rockstar Games have made based on Take-Two's financials, okay? But we don't know how much have come specifically from GTA 5. And we don't know how much is. It's like they talk about microtransactions, but microtransactions on what? You know, and we don't even have that broken out by developer. We just have the one. Take-Two's microtransaction revenue was this much, and they have a saga. I think they have FIFA. No, that's Electronic Arts has FIFA. What's the one that they have? They have some big sports franchise that just makes fucking bank. And that's where most of the microtransactions come from. And everybody wants to act like that's all coming from shark cards in GTA 5. And I'm like, no, look, they have this European football game that's like fucking huge all over the place. There's a absolute arseload of the microtransactions are coming off of that. But you don't hear about the breakdown from that, so we don't know where the breakout is on things. But you have to buy the microtransactions on those football games because they're your team members. And I look at that and I go, that's unethical as fuck in the first place. It's gambling. It's definitely gambling. Okay? There are no two ways about it. This is fucking gambling. And people still play these games, and I'm like, there is no game so good that I will support this kind of unethical bullshit. You know? I mean, none of it's as bad as Fortnite. Tim Sweetney is the fucking devil. You look at Fortnite's monetization, oh my God, it's hell. Have you ever played Fortnite?
No. Screw that.
See, the thing about Fortnite's monetization is you have this screen where they're like, here's the stuff that you can buy from the store. But it's not the whole store. It's like a dozen things. And these are the things you can buy right now. You have a time limit on buying them. You have to buy them now because when this timer expires, everything in the store is going to change. You may never see the things you're looking at in the store right now ever again. This may be the last time you see them. Some of them are time limited. This is only available for 2 weeks. Are you going to play the game enough over the next 2 weeks that you'll see the store rotate sufficiently for that to come up again? Or not? If you don't play a lot, you have to buy this shit. You have to buy it now, or you may never see it again. And when you add on top of that how targeted the game is toward children, I am just so unbelievably disappointed in Epic Games for producing this. Yeah, it's made a bunch of money, but at what cost? You know, at what human cost has all of this money been made? And I'm just absolutely horrified that so few people have looked at that and said, this monetization is so unbelievably, incredibly unethical and unacceptable. It should be illegal. You should not be allowed to do this. There should be laws against this. and I'm tremendously disappointed by that. And on the one hand, I sit there and I go, it's legal. Go ahead and make your fucking money. But at the same time, I just look at it, I shake my head, I go, yeah, I kind of don't ever want to buy anything from Epic again. I kind of never want you to have even a dime of my money for any reason at all. I don't want to buy from you. I don't want to buy from people who publish through you. I don't even really like to use anything based on the Unreal Engine. I've just got such a severe problem with the way Fortnite is designed. And with the lawsuits, they've got the lawsuit against Apple, which was more or less resolved, but it's up on appeal. They got the lawsuit against Google for the store there. And they keep saying, oh, no, we're not going after the consoles. I kind of feel like they're gonna. I kind of feel like they're gonna move in that direction. And I just kind of, I look at that and I just go, this behavior, they are not on the side of gamers, and they don't seem to understand. And it's the same kind of thing that's going on with the modders, really, is it's like it's like the modders are saying, why would Rockstar bite the hand that feeds them? It's not feeding them, it's feeding you. Mods are good for players. Mods aren't good for the developer. The developer doesn't benefit from mods. They don't fucking care. You know, it doesn't matter to them. It doesn't make a difference. Your mod does not make the game better for me, the developer. Your mod doesn't make the game better for the publisher who is trying to sell the game. They don't fucking care. Nobody has ever bought a game because a mod was so cool. That doesn't happen. That's not a thing. And people just do not seem to understand that mods aren't good for the developer. They aren't good for the publisher. And, you know, it's arguable that they don't do any damage. You know, I could see the argument the mod isn't doing any harm. Some mods do harm. Some mods might do harm. But, you know, generally speaking, companies do just like let you make your mods until they go, yeah, that mod, we don't think so. We're going to step in on that one. Or we're going to step in on that one. And they get all butthurt over it. I made this mod for you. Yeah, we didn't ask for this mod. Okay, we didn't ask. You needed permission from us to make the mod. You didn't get the permission. Take the fucking mod down. You're using the law to discriminate against gamers. No, we're not discriminating against anybody. You have no right to do this. Stop it. Get some fucking help. People are just children, basically. They sit around, they want, but I want this. I want to make mods for this game. Well, you can't make mods for that game. They won't let you. Go make mods for that game. Mojang wants you to make mods for Minecraft. They think that's the greatest thing. They just encourage you. Go. They give you all kinds of tools. Bethesda loves it when you make mods for Skyrim and Fallout. They think it's wonderful. Go make your mods. But I don't want to mod Skyrim and Fallout and Minecraft. I want to mod GTA. Yeah, they don't want you to mod their game. So they said, no, move the fuck on. It's exactly like the jackass sitting in a bar going, but I want to fuck that girl. She said no, move on.
People don't understand is that no means no. But also you have to understand they need to be able to back up that no.
Kind of, sorta. You know, it's if you need my permission to do something, so you ask for it, and I say no, and you go do it anyway, you're still a dick, whether I can back it up or not. You know, it's frustrating.
So this ties in is like you have to persuade them.
Well, sometimes it depends on the type of persuasion. Because there's actually a big argument going on in certain circles around the nature of consent. And a lot of people are saying, you know, just because someone didn't say no doesn't mean they said yes. And sometimes you can have a well, okay. And well, okay isn't necessarily illegal. I mean, it's not really enthusiastic consent. It's not really a great thing to be dealing with. But it's not awful, you know? It's like sometimes you may not be in the mood to have sex with your partner. You may not want to have sex with your partner. You may prefer not to have sex with your partner. But you do anyway, just so they'll shut the fuck up. A lot of the time, guys sit there and go, I cannot imagine such a thing. Oh, well, there may come a day. There may come a day when you understand this. Yeah, I really don't want to. And that day will come faster if you date multiple women, because you can only handle so many times a day, really. And long before you're at the point that you can't handle anymore, you just don't feel like it. I could, but I don't want to. I mean, I will, but come on. This is excessive. That's a problem. A lot of guys go, I wish I had that problem. No, you don't. I've had that problem. You don't wish you had it. If you had that problem, you would go, God, this is a fucking problem. I like the problem of not getting any a lot better. Oh, geez. Oh, fuck. I've been on stream for like an hour and a half. I'm going to go ahead and chop this off so we can talk about whatever in terms of the... I'm going to continue streaming, but I'm going to stop the recording. And those of you that are watching this on YouTube can now sit there and go, oh, shit, if I jump up the Discord, I'd be able to see the rest of this thing. But for now...
And also don't forget to join us. We have fun conversations every now and then.
We do. Every now and then is absolutely the right word. There's like 50 of us, and 3 of us actually talk, and we have conversations every, I don't know, 20 to 40 hours, something like that. We're on all day. We just don't talk much. Yeah. But absolutely, yes. Jump up the Discord. Join us. Join us. You know you want to be one of us. One of us. One of us. Gooble gobble. Gooble gobble. Yeah. Come join the massive turbo weebs on the Legion of Badass Discord. But yeah, I'm going to stop the recording now.